Hi, good evening, everyone. Professor and fellow classmates, this is my response to discussion question. I believe it's 5 about the advantages and disadvantages of solution focused therapy. One of the things that I believe is the advantage of solution focused therapy is resolving the present complaint as quickly as possible. I think that's a good thing to focus on quickly get into the solution of the presenting complaint. I also think that another advantage of solution focused therapy is believing that when people change the way they look and talk about their problems, then they are on the cusp of their solution to the problem. So when they start to change their perspective, I believe it's called from problem talk to solution talk, then they're able to get a resolution to their problem. Because I believe that faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. So when we start speaking positively, that can be a precursor to getting our problems solved. I think another advantage of solution focused therapy is setting specific goals. I like the idea that they set specific goals, like it says on page 255, bringing clarity to help clients measure progress easily, with setting specific goals, not just ambiguous goals, but helping clients to think about what would it look like when they know that they're meeting these goals, so that it's not just like some pie in the sky type of thing, but they're able to clearly see what their progress looks like. And I also think it's a positive that, or an advantage with solution focused therapy, in getting clients to think about constructive actions they can take. Not always looking at the other person and trying to change the other person, but looking at how they can take actions on them by themselves, for themselves. What they can do differently to change the situation. Identifying what works, and continuing like what works. Dismissing what doesn't work, because if it's not working, then they need to change it. I think these are all advantages of solution focused therapy. A disadvantage, I do believe, though, is saying it isn't necessary to know what causes the problems in order to change them. Even though I believe that's true, that you don't always have to know what happened, I do believe that there is value in understanding what took place, that can lead to these emotions or these situations, because you don't want to repeat the same pattern. And the next thing that it falls in line with the same thought process, is not utilizing comprehensive intake information during assessment, because sometimes there are clues within the information in the intake of family background and such, and understanding the familial background, like I said, and patterns from the past, like I said earlier, that can indeed infect the current problem. So I think not paying attention to the past, and how it can affect the future, is definitely a disadvantage to solution focused therapy. And not everyone also, some people do need to understand the roots in order to move forward. Not everyone is adaptable to this style of therapy, where they just have to see a goal and then be able to meet it. Sometimes some people process things differently, and they need to be able to understand what's going on so that they can deal with the situation at hand. So those are my thoughts. That's my answer to the discussion question. Thank you for listening.